This morning, the race to protect Florida's coast is on as Hurricane Helene starts battering the Gulf Coast. At this hour, mandatory evacuations are already in effect for parts of the Florida Panhandle. The Category 1 storm will not make landfall until later this afternoon, but people all over the southeast are already dealing with torrential rain. CBS's Nicole Valdez is in Tampa, Florida, as officials warn the storm is expected to get even stronger in the coming hours.
Heavy winds and rain are already pounding Florida and parts of the southeast as Hurricane Helene hurtles towards Florida's Gulf Coast.
I would suggest to get out. It's best to be safe.
Evacuation orders, some mandatory, are in effect for multiple counties. The National Hurricane Center predicts the storm could strengthen up to a powerful Category 3 or 4 by landfall, with winds reaching over 110 miles per hour and deadly storm surges of 10 to 20 feet.
You can hide from the wind, and there will be significant wind on this storm, but you got to run from the water.
Frankie Johnson of Horseshoe Beach is not taking any chances. She says she's already lost everything in last year's Hurricane Idalia.
They're saying this one's going to be worse than that one. There's probably not going to be much left.
An aqua fence has gone up around Tampa's General Hospital, where many patients will stay put.
It's actually safer to have them here with the care they need.
The National Hurricane Center is asking Floridians not to compare Helene to other storms that have hit the state in the last few years. In fact, Helene is forecast to be one of the largest storms in terms of sheer size to hit the region in years.
We are going to have a significant impact from this storm.
Florida's governor, as well as President Biden, have already signed emergency declarations covering dozens of counties, with FEMA teams already on the ground and ready to respond. Nicole Valdez, CBS News, Tampa, Florida.
Now, the incoming storm is already closing airports and canceling classes for schools across the southeast. Let's go ahead and get an update on where the storm sits at this hour with our own meteorologist, Thomas Patrick. Thomas, we were just talking about how massive that storm is.
Yeah, this actually looks like a really big storm, and it's not just the core of it that you see here, but look at these rain bands that lash out in advance of the storm. In fact, there have been tornado warnings in Florida this morning as a result of some of those outer rain bands. But notice in the last hour here, the eye of the storm is becoming more well-defined, and when that happens, we know that the storm itself is strengthening, and it is still forecast to do so in the next 24 hours. It's already a Category 2 storm with winds of 100 miles per hour, and it's forecast to be at least Category 3, which is considered a major hurricane, or even Category 4 before it makes landfall north of Tampa Bay and very close to where Tallahassee is. Of course, Tallahassee is not directly on the coast, but it is within what is called the cone of uncertainty, which is the 70% likelihood that the hurricane follows that path. And remember, the winds expand outside of the cone itself. So it's not just where it makes landfall, but the heavy rain as a result of the hurricane itself is going to be felt all the way northward. I mean, look at this yellow spot that you see in North Carolina. That is over a foot of rainfall, and that's well inland. That's over the Appalachian Mountains, but even areas like Atlanta, they are expecting more than 8 inches of rain in some localized areas, and still hurricane force winds at the same time. So Helene's going to have some huge impacts, especially in terms of the water and the rain that's going to be felt from Florida and then all the way northward. In fact, it's already raining in most of those areas. And if you look closely, these red boxes in South Carolina, the panhandle of Florida, and there's actually one even on the Atlantic side of Florida, those are tornado warnings that are active right now. So that we're watching over in the tropics.